You're good to
What?
go, by
Wait,
the way.
wait. Toho? What Toho songs?
I present to you what you should watch next, and by what you should watch next, I mean what you probably should not watch next, because holy fuck, this franchise is terrible. I fucking hate the Japanese. In this essay, I will.
Oh my
I
god.
have to use my mouse. Oh no, that's just okay. Here we go.
Okay.
So, what you may know is tokusatsu goes beyond just fucking Kamen Rider and Power Rangers. It's shit like fucking Godzilla, King Kong,
Oh, yeah. I love
somehow
these.
fucking Star Wars,
What?
and
What?
Marvel movies because it's
Huh?
basically a
Okay.
quote-unquote genre based on the idea of using special effects. Because
Marvel
of course
movies,
it
I
is.
believe.
Okay. Okay.
Yup. It's to the point where certain nerds on Twitter will actually get into serious arguments and start crying at you for daring to imply it's a genre.
Oh no. I love
So,
it.
there are three. As with anime, we have the big three. This big three being Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, which I say is close because it's made by the same fucking company, and then Ultraman, which is not made by the same company, but for some reason had a crossover with Kamen Rider in like the fucking 80s, and no one talks about it, probably for good reason, because it was one of those things where it was clearly a cash grab, and no one ever wanted to do it again.
Oh
It
damn.
was one of those things where they ruined it for everyone, like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
No.
Oh, damn.
Kamen Rider, of course,
Spitting, though.
started
Turn it
originally
up,
as something that was about dudes in fucking bug suits, because that was a good idea, because the original creator was a fucking madman, and I mean that as sincerely as possible. All of his ideas were fucking whack.
Oh my god. Not
Like,
fucking
really
whack.
fucking whack.
His hair,
Just to,
whack. His
to give you an
costume,
idea.
whack.
No, it really was. To give you an idea,
Dude,
of course, Geats is just like, yes, Fortnite. Who would like to participate in this battle royale where you don't fight each other? And now we came from, all right, so this literal Nazi company is going to kidnap a Japanese student, to a cyborg to turn him into a mass weapon of destruction, and they somehow fucked up and he turned on them and fucked them up, and they did this for like 7 seasons in a row. The
Hello?
Japanese are unoriginal. I cannot stress this enough. This formula worked
You
for so
sounded a little
long.
Bergman right now.
I mean it.
he gets to say it, though.
But yes, back then it was very much just the idea of here's the rider, here's their one toy, instead of being like here's 12 million toys, as to where we are now, where every show has 12 million fucking toys that makes literally every Hasbro franchise designed to sell toys look fucking weak.
Mhm.
Buy
Like
all
literally,
toy. Buy now.
buy. Literally, it's
Elaborate
also
on
very
gayer,
gay.
please.
That top image is actually from a fucking. I guess I'll call it a special rather than an actual show. But they literally fucked. It was gay porn. They were fucking. They were
What?
straight up fucking, dude. Dead ass. And these were characters from a original series where they were not gay whatsoever. But you know what? In this spinoff, they're gonna fuck. Don't worry about it. Don't fucking question it. Gay.
Okay.
Anyways, it all
I'll give
depends
him
on
the
what
last
you
one.
want out of your next show. Do you want, similar characters where, you got Ace where he's a total nice guy, he's totally cool, he's totally a good guy, he's not an asshole, definitely not an asshole, don't worry about it.
Definitely not.
Absolutely an asshole.
Do you want more baby fights where these dudes are literally arguing with each other over the dumbest shit and then end up
Uncle
being best
Sam?
of friends? Do you just want gay sex? Because that is basically an option. I mean, they won't say outright it's gay sex, but you can
That's
read
crazy.
between the lines, and the lines are basically railroad tracks.
Amazing.
So,
Oh.
if you have poor taste in men and want similar
Wow.
characters, you have Kamen Rider Kabuto, which was literally where they got the idea for Ace and Keiwa. Like, I unironically mean that. It was literally just the exact same thing. But, I don't know, maybe a bit less fucking... I don't even know.
Maybe
But
let's,
it is questionably gay. It's very much one of those shows where you could have... I mean, instead of the lines being railroad tracks, it's more like chalk lines, I guess. It's like the lines exist, but they could just get they get washed away at any time. But the shit go hard because the soundtrack goes stupid. The suit designs are badass. Like, look at that shit. That is clean as fuck, dude. Like, oh my god, shit's badass. But the writing really gets fucking stupid halfway through because time travel suddenly gets involved.
Time
They
travel.
broke me emotionally,
Travel.
and that's a con because that wasn't very nice of them. I cried. That was not cool.
That was very.
No, they
That was
couldn't
not
make
very cash
Alex
money.
cry.
It was not. I was emotionally stunted as a result.
Oh my god.
I watched this when I was in college.
Ah,
This shit was not cool. But it's also whack as fuck, and unfortunately, that's also positive, but it really is mostly negative because they really don't know what they were doing. They lost one of the characters semi halfway through because his actor became a very popular pop star, and they were just like, we can't write him out, but like, I mean, we can just
Can't
not
afford
have him
him.
appear for 50 fucking episodes, basically. That's cool, right?
That's
It's whatever.
crazy.
And then secondly, so this, of course, I rank these based on the idea of how similar they are to what you might want from Geats in terms of its characters.
I love this.
So next you have Gaiam, which, as you can see, they're literally a fruit samurai, a fruit knife with a banana spear, a
Wait,
Chinese
what?
grape with a gun.
No, this is awesome. Wait.
Yeah, you would
these
think
dudes a
so.
little fruity, huh?
So, to clarify, this one is a semi-similar, not quite battle royale, but they're riders and they are interacting and they are effectively fighting against each other, but not always. Sometimes they're just being really homoerotically antagonistic to each other, where just like, I
Yeah.
would fuck you up, and the other one's just like right up in his face, and he's like, don't do that, we could be friends. And then they almost kiss, but they don't. They kind of back
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry about it, dude. This is a
Okay.
straight show. Kamen Rider straight.
True net.
Kamen Rider, definitely straight.
Yep. So as you can see, I would say the designs are very much one of the most creative, considering they're literally fruits. And if you look closely, that dude in the background you see right there with the hammer,
Yeah.
he's a pine. No, sorry, an acorn.
An acorn? That's
Yes,
so
and there's also
pretty.
one that's a pine cone.
Oh.
And they eventually introduce ones, instead of just being fruits, they introduce ones that are kind of like fruit sodas. And in the movie, they do a pine cone soda.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, it's fucking stupid, actually. It's really stupid. They don't know what they were thinking. His name, the acorn's name, like his rider name, is literally a pun on acorn. It's just acorn fucking respelled, but in Japanese. I hate these dudes. I hate the Japanese so much.
Oh my
But
god.
to some extent, this is where you would get your OG Ace and Michinaga, where the lead and the secondary lead are just
Gay.
kind of like not well.
Gay hatred. The gaytred.
The game trade.
No. It's the way you think Naruto and Sasuke are
Hey.
versus
Okay.
realistically how they are.
Hey
You know
now.
what I mean?
Hey now. I
It's
don't
like,
want this
you know,
fucking
they're about
slander.
to kiss and then they both end up fighting over a woman, so
I don't
Oh,
want this
yeah.
slander.
Mm. But there are some there is this is actually the first show I believe to have an actual gay character for one thing.
Woohoo!
But it's also kind of played for laughs.
Aww.
But he's still a cool character.
Woohoo!
Oh, the Bon Clay theory.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, yes, like exactly kind of similar personality as well.
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
But he's a patissier.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You make
He
a
could
And his
cook.
actor's name is Metal for some reason. Like literally it's just
Like
metal.
metal?
Metal.
Like literally metal.
That's kind of dope as fuck.
Yeah, it's kind of baller.
And then thirdly, we have Kamen Rider Yuki, which is like the oldest show on my list here from 2003, which
Oh.
originated the whole idea of riders fighting against each other because that was a big no-no according to the creator, except for when he did evil versions. That's different though. That don't
That's
count.
different.
That's different.
They're evil.
Yeah.
But they don't fight. They're not allowed to fight until now. They fight now, and it's kind of really fucking gay because it's a lot of just men getting really weirdly fucking like all up in each other's bullshit, but not in a gay way. Like, ironically, not in a gay way, just actually trying to kill each other. But there's a lot of homosexual undertones, I would argue.
Yeah.
They
Especially-
square up, but they put their faces really close together.
Yeah, like
As
one of
it
the main
should be.
characters is a straight up serial killer, and all he
Oh,
wants to do is
okay.
fight these dudes. But the way he looks at them, it's kind of like he actually just wants to really aggressively fuck them.
Oh,
I don't know, it's a
okay.
little weird.
Yeah.
He's just having a regular one. Don't worry about it.
Of course, unfortunately, being the first time they did Rider versus Rider, they had no idea how to pace it, so the writing gets really shitty. It's also very not gay, ultimately, in a way, considering the secondary lead, who is, in a way, the main character, actually. His whole thing is about his girlfriend, so You know, take that as you will.
Uh,
It's also
boo.
very whack. It's kind of not in a good way whack. It's kind of like stupid, dumb shit whack. Like time travel gets involved for literally like an episode only. Oh fuck it! I
Every
like all
time
these
time
shows
travel
too.
comes up.
I very much love all three of these shows too. Is the annoying part. But
Oh,
they,
so
holy
you have
They're
poor
fuck.
so
taste in
good,
bed,
but the
is what
time
you're
travel.
saying.
Yeah, you could say that honestly. Anyways, now if you wanted something similar writing wise, you get literally two of the exact same shit. Oh my god, these companies are so fucking unoriginal. I cannot stress that enough. Literally, they've made such a point of view, like, you know, Geats and Kabuto. And it's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, watch the show, and it's like, oh my fucking god, they did it again.
They did it again.
It's the Japanese equivalent of, god damn it, Todd Howard, you've done it again. And considering I've reused these shows, I figured this time I would also show you the main actors.
Okay.
This is the bitch Tendo, who is literally just ace, but even more of a cocky asshole, and he can back it up. He literally is just like, I am God, and then he does God shit, and
Oh.
no one can argue with him.
Oh, okay. I'm
So
watching
fuck
for
yeah.
the plot. I'm watching for the.
Oh my god.
And then, as you can see, mind you, I posted this image, so really stress, this show is actually not gay. They only do images like these for the fucking magazines they released after the show, where it's just very weirdly homoerotic, and it's just like, they were never like that in the show. What is going on? But this one actually, from an actual serious writing standpoint, there's a lot of similar ideas of just, you know, is this guy on my side? Why are we fighting? I don't even know, man. Shit's dumb because it loses that sense of that kind of halfway through, and it ends up only being focused on these two assholes right here in terms of that kind of development. And then we have Kamen Rider Blade, an actual different one that aired in 2005, so it's the second oldest one we got, and it's super gay.
Ooh.
Very character driven, especially too. The plot in a way takes a back seat to the fact that these main four men have a lot of bonding to do, and it's mostly not homoerotic except for the two main dudes. The other two dudes kind of get like a sort of father-son bonding thing going on, despite them probably only being like 3 years in age difference.
Oh, okay.
It's all very sweet and awesome and kind of tragic and really gay. There's a lot of gayness throughout this whole franchise. I'm gonna be honest, dude. Like, except for when there isn't. Sometimes it's just very hetero normative. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ham fisting the heteros, you know.
Which, of course, Gaiam.
Going back to Gaiam.
Gaiam is very, oh, this is homoerotic, and then like, okay, they're fighting over a woman. Never mind. I was wrong. But, you know, if you
Sometimes
focus
fighting
on
over a woman is the gayest thing you can do, and I will not elaborate.
You can just say
understandable,
lesbians.
thank you. So then we have just straight up gay. So, if you want just legitimately the gayest possible show you could get out of this whole fucking franchise that is completely undisputed and has not been topped since, you have Kamen Rider O's, where it's literally 48 episodes of a man and his monster. It's okay. So like the secondary main character is he's one of the monsters, but because of this weird system they have where they have all the pieces of their body based on these coins, as you can see on the cover. He is relegated to being a hand. So he possesses the female lead's brother, and they do that for the whole series, and there's a lot of homoerotic tension between them to the point that they are basically literally boyfriends. And at times kind of a throuple with the female lead. It's a little weird.
Oh, okay.
But it's also really sweet.
It's strange. It's
actually really cute, and it's just literally just 48 episodes of them slowly developing this gay romance that doesn't actually turn into a gay romance because they want you to suffer, and Japan is very fucking bigoted.
Slow burn.
But it's very cute. And I don't think I've ever had an actual gay ship until I watched this show, because they just straight up are a gay ship.
Well, now I have to watch it. I want to know you better. I want to understand you.
You would probably get it within the first few episodes to be like, they just hate fuck, and then it's just like, oh no, they just love.
They just love.
So, in a way, this next show, Kamen Rider Double, is somehow both gayer and not gayer, because it's two dudes in one body. And yes, it is, fellas, it is gay to share a body with your bro, no matter which body it is.
It is gay to merge bodies with your bro.
Yes. So the way it works is that this belt here, they both have one. Green over here, when he puts his little fucking USB stick, which is literally a USB stick, they were running out of ideas, I swear to God. When he puts it in the belt, he basically passes out because his brain kind of goes into this guy's belt. So when he puts his thing in, they transform into this guy, and his brain is in his brain.
What?
Yeah. And so since you haven't finished Geats, so you don't really understand the concept of final form yet, but each show, they have a final form where they're like, all right, this is our ultimate form. It's got whatever bullshit we need, and it's going to sell so many fucking toys to kids.
Yeah.
So in that... Go ahead.
So they got to put their things in to merge with each other.
Yes, and that's the thing. When they get their final ultimate toy, and they put their things together and actually fuse into one body.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Amazing.
Because normally when his consciousness goes into the thing, he just passes out and it's funny, haha, he fall over.
I see.
But once they get the ultimate form, they just literally are two dudes in one suit, and it is pretty gay.
Two dudes, one suit.
But ultimately, he's straight, so
boo.
take that as you will.
No, he's
So
not.
it goes from like
and he is question mark. There's some cross dressing. There is some ideas he may be asexual and or gay. Take that as you will.
Oh.
I don't know. It's up to interpretation, honestly, because Japan.
Yeah.
Right.
And then lastly, we have Kamen Rider Build, and I fucking hate this show. I actually hate this show. It's one of those shows where you're like, wow, this is so good. It's refreshing. And then they get halfway through, and you're just like, holy fuck, the writer sucks ass. It was one of those shows, too, during the airing where people were like, this is actually very gay. It's very progressive. And then it ends with, like, literally every character except the main character having a girlfriend.
Oh, wow. They pulled that Naruto.
Despite them going out of their way to be, like, from Toei's standpoint, marketing it as, we're not saying it's gay, but we're saying it's gay as possible, because this is his secondary main. They're very bonded, depending on how you want to phrase it. Not quite gay, but that kind of level of bros where it's like it's so easy to ship them. They basically are asking you to ship them.
Yeah.
So at the end of the show, they like to do random bits of merchandise that aren't necessarily toys. It could be outfits or different little things like coasters, any type of bullshit. For this show, excuse me, they released a literal ring you could wear of different pieces of their helmet combined.
Oh,
gay, but
it's
not gay.
just like Haikyuu.
It's just like Haikyuu.
Is that what we're learning here? Kamen Rider is just like Haikyuu.
Listen, look, did you not see the Haikyuu wedding rings line?
I forgot about that. That was recent too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was recent. Like a couple of years ago, Haikyuu released a line of wedding rings that are themed for specific character couples in the show. And not like, oh, this is a team-based ring. It was like specifically like, okay, this is the ring that is created based off of like Oikawa and Iwazumi. And then they were like, okay, this is the ring that is based off of like Kuro and Kenma. And then they were like, and this is the ring that's based off of Hinata and Kageyama. And it was like, hello?
Why?
And they were like, but it's not gay though.
Nope. They're just good friends.
Good friends. Even though these are explicitly wedding rings and not like any other type of ring.
Wife, would you be my heterosexual life partner?
Oh my god.
So, those are your options.
I'm loving it.
Just kidding. There's so many more options because this whole concept of a genre is so fucking varied. It pains me because there's so many fucking shows I still have to watch despite having put the better part of a decade into this, excluding the fact I've been watching Power Rangers my whole fucking life. So, this is my personal favorite show ever in terms of Kamen Rider. It's Forze. It's space themed, as you can tell. He's literally a fucking astronaut. It's so fucking cool. And it's very, very, very anime. And I mean that as lovingly as possible. It's so fucking good, and it made me cry. Having watched it twice, it made me cry twice. I don't understand. It's not fair. It's just really fucking good and so fucking cute and kind of gay, but not necessarily. You can read between the lines, but it's ultimately pretty straight.
That sounds like every show that you like here is gay.
The whole franchise is very gay until it's not.
What are you trying to say, Alec?
that the Japanese only know gay.
Uh-huh.
Japanese
I'm
only
just
know how to
saying,
bait according
Golden
to
Kamuy,
Alex.
gay. Bleach, pretty gay. Naruto,
Please.
pretty gay.
It's
One
true.
Piece, we don't even need to cover that. That is so many different flavors of LGBT of
There's
varying
a lot
degrees
going
of
on there.
success.
Yeah.
What else is there? Samurai Champloo, homosexual tension by fighting.
Apparently, I
Wait,
don't
you're not gonna
remember
talk
that.
about the actually gay one that he directed, Boys on the Slope?
I'm just saying, I'm fairly certain if Mugen was slightly more drunk, he would have tried to fuck Jin.
Oh my
I don't-
god.
He would have. That dude is so fucking stupid
I
and
just
horny
find
and
it
violent.
so funny that series that are like actually gay in Japan are less gay than the non-gay series.
See, the non-gay series are gay in the same way that the ancient Greeks were gay, in that they just hate women so much.
I mean, honestly, for the longest time, it was argued that Kamen Rider hated women because the first time we got a woman rider was in Ryuki, and it was only in the movie, and she died.
Damn.
She
And then
died.
the one before that is argued she's not even considered a rider. She
Damn.
was in the show in the 80s, and she was just a woman in a ladybug suit, which ironically enough she was actually very badass, but she was not considered a rider. And
Yeah,
then
can't even get
we
the
had a
title.
bunch of further after Ryuki, we just had a bunch of shitty one-off random riders that were either only got to transform in one episode and then got their ass beat and probably killed,
Oh my
or they were
god.
in movies and were killed off also.
Damn.
Up until
Yeah.
we got to, what was it? Decade, the 10th, literally because they thought they were so fucking funny. The 10th show in the Heisei era, they're like, let's name it Decade, where we got one in a movie, but she didn't die. And slowly but surely, it was an upward climb where we were just working our way towards getting, more women riders. Where in Forze's crossover movie with O's, because they do yearly crossovers, because we gotta make that fucking money and
Literally
contractually harass these Japanese actors who are
Have
doing
you
their best to
taken a
get away
breath
from
in the
this shit.
last 5
No.
minutes?
No.
Slowly but surely, I'm doing it through my nose where you guys can't hear it. We worked our way up to getting a woman rider in this fucker's crossover movie where she has a good important focus on it and didn't die, and she reappeared later too. Working our way into the next series after that, where we had a woman rider in the show who transformed in more than one episode and didn't die, to working our way back down because we had a woman rider in the next show in Gaim and she died, and also the main female lead isn't a rider and she's just a damsel in distress, and we just kind of work our way back down and down and down because the next show after we just had a female lead who didn't get to transform, and they make a specific sexist point to be like, she can't transform, that belt just does not work, it won't work for her, she has vagina.
Damn.
And then the next show where we got a woman rider to transform for one episode and she got her ass beat in 2 seconds, and we just keep declining and declining because the next show we ain't got shit for women. But then the show after that, there's a pause. We start seeing a sudden rise again. As in the last episode, we got another female rider, and it was the female lead, which is the first time it happened, where it was the female lead. And she transformed last episode, and everyone loved it. But then there was a pause again because she died in it. But
she died.
But she reappeared afterwards in multiple different things and got transformed again. So we're like, okay, maybe we're getting somewhere. And then Shinzo Abe abdicated, and we entered the Reiwa era, and they wanted to pretend that they were a totally new company where they didn't hate women. So in our first show in the Reiwa era, they made a point to be like, all right, our third rider, which is considered technically, typically. The third rider isn't as important as your first 2 ones, but they're effectively big part of the main cast.
Yeah.
And she transformed in the first 4 episodes, which is a pretty good record. And we're thinking, okay, we're working somewhere. They're making a big point to be like, this is a strong-ass female lead. Except they didn't know how to write her. She was a traitorous bitch. They made her a coward towards the end. They didn't give her extra forms. And we started nosediving hard like we're on a fucking roller coaster.
Oh my god.
And we just kept nosediving because the next show was about we featured a female rider who had one of those pseudo incestual relationships with her brother where they're just really obsessed with each other. It's not quite romantic, but it's a little too, Oni-chan, you're so badass. And it's just like, can y'all fucking not?
That's my Oni-chan.
and the nosedive turned into a drill, and we start digging into the Earth's core, and we're
God.
just
my
sinking
God.
deeper and deeper. And then we get to the next show.
Alex,
where
we should have had a PowerPoint night. Jeez.
Well, next time, start preparing your topics. You can work on it throughout the next week.
Don't even know.
I would
You'll
need
figure
one
it
of
out.
y'all to pick one specific niche of mine because
I don't think I
wanna
could
Give a
make
PowerPoint of
one.
Kirby.
I'll start thinking of topics for
Got
y'all.
you.
You can just make
Us?
you can just make one cow as just like ah.
Yeah. Here's my PowerPoint where I scream for the next 20 minutes. Ah!
Hey,
The art of screaming.
Wait, so where's your stance on Geats in the woman roller
well,
coaster?
hang on. We're almost there. I'm at this show, and the next up is Geats. So
Oh, okay.
next up is Revise, a big show in terms of the whole franchise because it was the 50th anniversary.
Oh.
So there was a lot of let's celebrate everything in the past and try to do something new.
Ah.
So, like with Double, and just to kind of put in
Yeah.
your eyes again,
I
2 and
remember.
1. Instead of 2 and 1, we get sort of 1 and 2 because the main character's whole thing is that his demon becomes a rider as well. So when he transforms, the demon gets to transform too. So it becomes 1 and 2. So it's like, okay, we're getting somewhere. We're getting something interesting. So the secondary is his brother, and the third is his sister, which was a big deal because it was actually pre-established early on. She wasn't just a pushover bitch. She was a big karate nerd, and it was honestly a little mid. It was kind of forced in some ways, but she ended up being one of the most popular characters. And we're starting to work our way back up. That drill, there's a rocket on the back of it. We're starting to turn back around.
Oh my God.
Things are starting to right itself. We're going upwards. And then the female villain becomes a rider as well.
Oh.
And they both live. And they are arguably gay.
Oh.
So we're working our way back up pretty hard. I just realized I skipped a female rider, but that's okay. I skipped 2 now I think about it, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. They were both pretty much irrelevant, so it's diving in there again. But we're working our way back up. We're doing good. They successfully lived through the series, and you know what? The fucking the third rider, the sister, she even gets an upgrade form, which is pretty much unheard of for the female riders. So we're going way up, and now we're at Geats, and it's like, okay, we got Nago, female lead, gets to be a rider early on, does very well, doesn't just get her ass beat.
She almost died in episode 3, but she didn't.
She does not die. However, every other woman rider, especially off screen, there's a lot of off screen deaths, but there's also they're like, hey, look, other women, they're dead. Yeah. There's also one, it seemed like they were going to introduce a new female lead also, and then she dies in her first
that
appearance.
shit was so funny, though.
We get Nago
Alex,
back, though,
at
so it's
some
okay,
point
right?
you
That's
need
cool.
to show the clip of her death because I laughed for 10 minutes straight.
Hang on, I could do that.
Oh,
let's see.
Please watch this girl die. It's so funny.
Hang on. Let's see. Do you guys have the sound too? I can't tell if it's coming through.
No.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
You don't really need the sound. Oh, yes, here it is. So, first of all, she's a coward. And she panics. And she tries to run away from the fight.
She's using a propeller, if that wasn't clear.
They fucking bazooka. Wait, it's not over yet.
They're literally just beating the shit out of her.
They literally let her get up. Let her get up.
And every time I watch this, it's so funny because she just dies.
That's it. And you know, that's the thing too. They introduce her like she's actually gonna be a new lead. Hang on, let me see if I can find her in the theme song too.
I'm pretty sure she's the old chick.
She might not be in this one. No, yeah, she is.
No, she is because the old dude is.
Yeah. See, like it's like, look, she's gonna be important. She's in the opening, guys, and then they fucking kill her off.
Keep in mind, they do that thing that some anime do, like when characters die, where they just replace them with like a black void.
They do
so
that
you just
every
see
time
the ghost of where she was. Oh, it's so fucking funny, especially because Jenny like instantly latched onto her because Jenny loves sheep.
Of course she did.
And she's goth. And, like, you know, she's like, I want to, get married and all this stuff. So Jenny was like, oh, my God, they made her just for me. And we were like, Jenny, they made her just for you. She is the sheep rider. And then she died in the funniest way possible. And Jenny honestly hasn't recovered yet.
God. Good. But yeah, that drill with the rocket just kind of lost fuel. We're kind of just drifting in space now. It's kind of like we could go anywhere. Things could go really badly now.
The world's our oyster.
But hey, we're up in space for now at least. Women,
Just like
they're
Force.
doing okay.
We're doing all right.
Salmon.
Feminism won.
The way you said women really reminded me of Delivered for a second.
Oh
Women.
no.
Women.
So, other options further.
Oh,
shit! What the
Oh
fuck? I hit
my
the down
God.
arrow. Shit just said fuck it. All right.
Hit the down arrow and said goodbye. We're done.
All right.
Oh.
Why is it doing that?
Yeah.
Why is it doing that? Did my
Alex,
shit get
did you
stuck?
break your mouse?
I think I broke my keyboard. Oh, there we go. Oh no, it's in that shit again on my other screen.
Oh.
Whatever. You see the main one? So, now you have Sentai, which actually is a lot different from Power Rangers some fucking how.
Somehow,
Which
even
is
though
actually
visually
ironic.
it looks just like it.
I would have never guessed, honestly.
The only modern
But-
day Sentai I'm aware of is fucking Simple Gear and Pretty Cure.
That don't count. Get out of here with your fucking weird women singing.
Pretty Cure fucking collab with a Super Sentai.
Precure is actual Koku. That's different. Anyways, so the thing about Super Sentai is Power Rangers, like, beyond any idea of you thinking Power Rangers just lifts from Sentai, I mean, they literally can lift a lot of things one for one. Do you remember Time Force?
Yeah.
That is a one for one adaptation. Do you remember Samurai?
Vaguely.
That is a whitewashed one for one
Oh
adaptation.
my God.
I mean, whitewashed as hard as possible.
Yep.
Painful.
They
Like
really
Jelly
got lazy
Donuts
sometimes. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
No.
But as a result, a lot of these Sentai really stand out compared to their adaptations because they're fucking awesome. Like this first one, Kyoryuger, because it's so fucking good. I don't even give a fuck to actually explain it in a proper, objective explanation way. That shit just go hard. That shit fire. The
That shit
music is
just slap.
stupid dummy.
Me favorite.
Those suits are awesome. I love dinosaurs.
I
Then
feel
you
like
have
Alex
Tokyo
has
Ghoul.
like
Valid.
gotten in touch with his child self again. Like, yeah.
That's literally what I did, especially with this second show, because that's part of the theme. It's, you know, in a way, reconnecting with your childhood self and remembering what it's like to be young and be, you know, enjoying all the things that made you feel so happy as a kid, while also doing it in a way that's very not childish. It's kind of dumb because these shows, Sentai especially, is probably the most childish of all these shows I'm talking about. It is still very baby mode at times, but it's so fucking good. And then there's Kira Major, which is one of the more recent ones, and it's just, I don't know, there's not much to say about it. It's just, if you ever want to try Sentai and didn't want anything that was, like, overwhelming, you really go with that and not go wrong.
Hell yeah.
The yellow right down there, he's literally an esports gamer. Take that as you will. Like, straight up, I hate Toei because they're partnering with Bandai. As a result, they use Bandai games in their shows to be like, yeah, let's show this tournament. So instead of just using normal Bandai games, in this show they used God Eater, which is not a competitive game. It's literally not a competitive game, but they still pretend it is for this, and I hate
Like,
it. I hate Japanese
There's no
people.
possible way it can be competitive either.
No. But these are all actually really good shows.
I love
And
this.
Tokuger especially is very emotionally poignant, and if you like ensemble casts, generally speaking, this is where you would go because they do a good job of actually making you care about these characters, considering unlike Power Rangers, they're not limited to like fucking 25 episodes in a year.
I'm loving
And
this.
your other friend that's not Jenny actually really likes Kyoryuger from what I remember, because when we played Overwatch, she recognized my picture.
Amber.
Keep that in mind. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I would recommend. So then you have Ultraman, which is it's, you know, the sort of the kaiju show, if you will, where unfortunately all these space alien suit dudes, they have their uncanny similarities in terms of design. Like, there's obvious differences, but then you see those eyes and the silver face and the weird mouths, and a lot of people like to just be like, those are the exact same characters. And I'm just like, I will literally punch you in the mouth. There's not much to say about these ones comparatively. I think they are arguably the ones that are the best written because they use limited time to just focus on moving the plot forward and give you these perfect themes to just absorb, especially the first two. The first one is a lot about forgiving yourself and growing from your mistakes. The second one's just about using your bonds with family to just kind of accept changes in life, accept where you are, find what you want to do, and find a way to support yourself. The third one is more or less just a deconstruction of the franchise and does it in a very short and simple way that also just feels like a sort of, what's the phrase I'm looking for? I don't know, but it's just good.
Homage, love letter.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So it turns out there's also other options because there's more than just
There's
the big
more?
three, because Japan cannot just relax, and there's more than I even covered in this. There's only 4 more slides, and there's still more than I covered in this. They
That's
have
amazing.
problems. It's terrible. I want to die. There's so much to watch. It's not fair. I don't have enough money for this.
You sure don't.
Also, the one big benefit of Ultraman beyond any of the shows is that a lot of them are becoming more available officially. I want to say there's probably like 30. Let's just say, for example, there's like 30 shows. Right now, I want to say 20 of them are now officially released in the United States, which is a very big deal for Tokusatsu. Because before that, Sentai had up to maybe 12 within we'll say like 8-year period. We got like 27 shows within like a 3-year period.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Ultraman said, I'll go where no other man has gone before.
Oh, hey,
it really
Garo.
has. So then you have Garo, which is extremely fucking edgy. We're talking like Devil May Cry. We're talking Bayonetta. We're talking what other shit's edgy out there? We're talking Resident Evil 7. Where
what was that
it's
ninja
basically
one?
Ninja one? Onimusha? Or
No.
Tenchu?
No, not in terms of Sentai shit, but like, we're thinking Ninja Gaiden as far as edgy ninjas go.
Maybe more recent ones, yeah, or the remakes, quote unquote remakes. But Garo is more or less just Golden Knight Man fights creepy ass, disgusting looking monsters, including some with tits, because this show is really weird. I want to say out of like 7 main shows, the final boss is a giant naked woman in like 4 of them. Different naked women, mind you, but 4 different giant naked women.
Gotta admire the consistency.
Yes.
I think Aki is all for this.
I'm like, you're speaking my language.
Okay, interesting.
This is potentially, this show specifically, the rest are very good as well, but this one is, you could watch self-contained, and it's phenomenal. The romance, chef's kiss, it is such a perfect, like, not slow burn. It is a slow burn, but it's just so natural. It's so beautiful. The chemistry is actually there. Seeing this edgy looking little bitch right here slowly act like a fucking human. And it's just amazing. I truly do love this show. It's so good.
I love this.
It's also so fucking edgy. But it is available officially as well, I believe on, I forget what it's on now. I believe it's technically through High Dive, because I believe it was put on Verve through that, back when Verve was a thing. And then you have anime-based films, which basically are tokusatsu in terms of how they are. You have Parasite, which I watched with Molly. I thought it was very cute. It's a good date night kind of duology movie, despite how edgy it is. But it's cute. The romance is really nice between the 2 actors, despite him being extremely baby-faced compared to actual Shinichi. I don't know why they got an actual baby for that. It don't really make sense to me. You have Terraformers, which it's really only worth it if you just want to see some people fight roaches and get killed by roaches. If you like that, I would absolutely recommend it for the watch. If you want anything else, don't watch it. You will die. You will hate yourself. You will shit your pants.
You will shit your pants and die.
So then you have Kenshin's live action, which is so fucking good. It is considered the gold standard of anime adaptations for a reason. Of course, unfortunately, the author is a piece of shit. I hope he dies. But this so fucking good. And the lead actor originally got his start in Kamen Rider.
Nice.
He was in the 8th Heisei series, which was considered one of the most popular ones for the longest time, in that for years, and I mean still up until this point, it continually got spin-offs, because the show featured main character monsters that were basically just only voiced by, like, they were their voice actors more than anything, not like the actual characters, so to speak. So the main one, I'm trying to remember what big roles he had off the top of my head, but one of the most notable ones is what is it, Senketsu from Kill la Kill.
Oh.
He is a very, very big name actor, or voice
Ah.
actor rather. And so Deno in general was considered just such a huge success. They constantly were like, let's get this guy back. His roles kept shooting up. This guy got too popular to come back. This little fucker right here
This
with his little fucking long hair. He got so popular. The one time he came back after about a decade and a half, he couldn't even act like the normal character. He had to act like a sort of cool version because his agency would not let him act like the original version because his image would not allow that.
Huh. Okay,
Japanese
that's
production
strange.
companies and agencies are actual cringe. They're not quite idol industry bad. They're pretty bad though. So then we have the live action Bleach movie, which I just really love, partially because this guy and then the chick who plays Orihime were all in Forze. So, I'm biased.
wow.
And I'm just like, oh, hell yeah. That's my shit. Get all three back. Let's fucking go.
My
And
homie.
it's also just, I think it's a pretty good adaptation considering how much they condense into it, despite that they kind of shaft Uryu a bit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But,
just like Tite.
Yeah.
Damn.
But for what it's worth, they really could have done a lot worse. They clearly did a lot of attention to detail and love into it. I just love it. And
Maybe
then you have
I will
Attack on
watch
Titan.
live action Bleach. I didn't watch it.
Attack on Titan is potentially the worst ever anime adaptation I've ever seen, and I've watched Terraformers. Attack on Titan is so fucking bad, dude. I don't understand what went wrong. Because despite how much I don't like Attack on Titan, the first season, the first half of season, it's perfectly set up to be a movie. Like, there shouldn't be any fucking that up, and they still fucked it up because they tried to. It's like they knew what was going to happen in the manga in some ways, but didn't know how to throw it into early shit. Because the main villain. So you still have your armored and colossal titans.
Yeah.
But they are completely different characters. Reiner and Bertolt do not exist at all in this movie.
What?
Half the characters in general do not exist in this movie. It's like Eren, Armin, what's the main chick's name? Yeah, Mikasa. I don't even know if Levi actually appears. I think he does.
I was gonna say that would be absurd if he doesn't.
I know
the whole first arc is about him.
Hanji does for sure because she's in a spin-off one.
What?
And then who else? Jean does appear. And I don't know if anyone else does. I don't think Connie appears. Instead, they introduce all these random movie one-off characters because they can easily kill them off. Because you can't kill off Connie. You can't kill off fucking Levi. You can't kill off fucking... Oh, JK, you can kill off Marco, but we're not going to put him in anyways because fuck Marco Lamau. But you can kill off all these shitty one-off movie characters that no one's going to care about. And hell, while we're at it, let's just introduce this random lieutenant asshole who's Eren's brother.
What?
Huh?
Yep.
Zeke?
Yep. Nope, not Zeke. Just some asshole.
What?
Discount Levi even. And you know what?
Said we need a Raditz.
You know what? We can't reveal that right away though. Let's save that for the sequel that we somehow got, despite how shitty this movie is. So they reveal that Eren's got a brother in that one, and he's the armored Titan. But the Colossal Titan is also just some jackass general who's evil because... Yeah, no, this movie is straight up the equivalent of... This movie is just legitimately, I thought to myself while watching it, kill yourself now.
Oh my god.
That shit is so dog shit. It is so bad. I don't understand what went wrong. They dropped the ball so hard on something that should not be easily dropped the ball on. It's like making a live action Sword Art. Yeah, it's going to be dog shit because it's Sword Art, but you shouldn't be able to fuck it up.
Yeah.
But they could. They could.
They could.
Honestly,
and they probably will.
Might benefit the most from a live action movie.
And then, of course, we finally end with anime that are toku, because, of course, we have to go the other way around. So you have Gatchaman Crowds, which is based on Gatchaman, which is based on a Sentai series. Because fuck it. So then you have Garo, which, of course, got an animation despite being a tokusatsu, because we have all the budget and money in the world somehow, despite being a kind of series where we only get one show every 3 years. Let's just make an anime. Fuck it. And it was really good. It was really fucking good. Gatchaman Crowds is really fucking good. Tiger and Bunny is really fucking good. Voltron is an anime. I just want to spite you, but it does fit. It literally fits. That's literally a tokusatsu. Literally, they're color coordinated heroes with a giant robot. You said it like I didn't watch the whole fucking thing, especially
I
as soon as
know.
each season came out. God damn it.
You watched the whole thing?
Yes, I watched the
bro?
whole thing and I liked it.
Yep.
Whew.
Yeah.
I
Alex is just.
unironically, that's just a 7 out of 10 across the board.
It is. People hate on the last season of Voltron way more than they should be. And they hate on it for the wrong reasons. Like, them last 2 seasons were enjoyable. Completely different show than the show that it was at the start. But it was still good.
The thing is, it turned into actual Voltron, is what people totally didn't want. It turned into literally the classic Voltron, and I think it was better for it, personally.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we end off. Don't buy toys. Do not fucking buy
Oh.
toys. Japan is bad.
My God.
Here's funny screen caps from show.
Oh boy.
This is from
funny.
Kabuto, where these 2 assholes just chain themselves up because they're so fucking edgy and stupid. I don't understand why this show was made. Nothing makes sense. I love it so much. It hurt me. Why did they do this? Why did they chain them up? Why are they gay? And then you have the older brother who is very edgy and, deep and something.
Deep.
And for some reason in this thing, they catboyed him. I don't know. I just had that image handy and I was like, okay, let's put that in there.
I love this. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to my essay. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed writing it. Thank you.
I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Wait, Professor,
I've got a
question.